Welcome to the Body Talks podcast with me, Dr. Brooke Sheehan. I'm a chiropractor extraordinaire who speaks the language of the body, not to be confused with body language. Join me on this show as I disrupt current beliefs about where health comes from and how you can discover your greatest health potential without having to spend hours away from your life's work in order to do so. Because reaching these levels of health is possible once you learn how to carry on a dialogue with the greatest creation to ever exist, the human body. By tuning into the whispers your body speaks and addressing them, you avoid the potential damage that is created when the body begins to scream, allowing you to experience healing in a whole new way. This show will guide you towards true health so you can continue to change the world. Your body holds the answers. I'm here to help you discover them on the Body Talks podcast, starting now. What is up? Dr. Brooke here with another episode of the Body Talks podcast. I hope this message finds you well and you're doing amazing. If you haven't already had a chance to check out the last episode, episode 13, this or that is what we're talking about, and how to really tune into the wisdom of your body when making inconsequential decisions in your life to start out with. This is how you develop that. But today, I do want you to listen to that and really understand what we're talking about when we say the body talks, and how you can develop a skill in listening to your body and just figuring out and deciphering what it is saying and telling you. So, but on that, we're going to be talking about some of the myths you hear in healthcare or just in the health paradigm, over the world, right? Like, so many of us know, probably, can name 5 different gurus, health gurus, and some may be different for others and some may be, the same. But there's a lot of health gurus out there. There's a lot of people on the internet sharing a lot of incredible information. People written books and, doing all sorts of different podcasts like these, right? And while I believe wholeheartedly that health is one of the most important things that we need in our entire lives, with our health, we are able to live our full potential. With our health, we are able to express the God-given abilities and gifts into the world with others, with ourselves, with our families, friends, everybody, right? With health, we are able to move forward in the direction that we are being called and live out our full soul purpose. So health is a huge piece to living this abundant life, and financially abundantly, or financial abundance, yes, but abundant in all areas, meaning abundance with, just health, happiness, love, all of that. Because when you start to lose your health, it affects everybody around you. I've seen so many patients more recently too, dealing with very chronic conditions, and their mental and emotional state is so broken. They're spiritually lost. They don't know where to go. They're looking for answers. It's so heartbreaking. And it's such a beautiful expression also for me to be there and help guide them back to themselves, back to the wisdom that their body is expressing, back to the words and the things that their body wants them to understand. So getting to draw someone back to that is if you could see me right now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the biggest smile on my face. If you're listening to this on audio, I really hope you can hear in my voice the joy and excitement I get when I am helping people, helping these individuals return back to that of which they have lost. And so today I really do want to talk about some of the myths that we hear in the health world. Not for you to feel discouraged or upset, or I don't even know what direction to turn, but for you to understand that while things may sound great on the surface, health is very unique. Health is not one size fits all. And just because a carrot is good for some doesn't mean it's good for you, or spinach or kale or supplements or this or that or what, whatever. Again, right? This or that comes back to tuning into, does my body want this? Does it want that? And really kind of just to understand and give you the tools necessary so you can be able to figure this out a lot easier and with clarity. And then if you need my help, great. I'm here to be that guide. I'm here to help you and bring you back to that voice within. So with that, the first thing that I want to talk about today, I'm going to talk about 3 different myths, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but 3 different myths. The first one is this notion that in order to have better results, you must do more. Okay? Crazy. Sometimes our minds, our finite minds, get into this pattern that it's just a lack of Tylenol. That's why I'm in pain. Or it's a lack of this. That's why I'm experiencing this. Oh, my muscles are really weak. It's a lack of reps. I need to do more. 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 I don't know what area of our lives more elicits better results. I had to ponder and think about this quite a bit because it's like even, more parenting or more talks with our children or more this. Does that make our kid any better? I think maybe more love for ourselves creates better results overall, right? The more that we love ourselves, the more that we are able to show up in the world in a completely different way for people in a different, in all facets of life, for our kids, for everybody. But I think that would be the only, if not one of the very few instances where more is better. And just to caveat off that really quickly, and I want to make sure that this is clear, is loving yourself is not an act of selfishness. Loving yourself is an act of love for humanity. Because when you love yourself more, and when you take care of yourself in the same way you would take care of a grandmother or a child or, a loved one, when you take care of yourself like that, you are then able to give love from an excess, from an outpour, and not from a already low reserve. So less is more when it comes to love. When it comes to loving ourselves, less is more. More is better. When it comes to loving ourselves, more is better. More love for ourselves, the better the world is. But oftentimes in life, this notion of more is better is fallacy. It's false. It does not have any merit. So the more reps you do at the gym and the more harm you do to your body, the better results? No. Actually, the worst results. Because if you're doing more reps than your body can actually handle in any given time, and I understand, you get to a point where you can't do anymore and you push maybe 1 or 2 more because that you're allowing the muscle to break in order to rebuild up. That's understandable to some degree, but this idea that, you're in pain and you're suffering and you're just trying to push through an injury, it doesn't make the injury go away. It doesn't make the tissue mend and heal. It doesn't make the body perform any better when you do that. In fact, it is time. There's times to rehab and there's times to work out. And there's times, there's a time for every season. A biblical principle, there's a time for every season. And so, being obsessed about something and feeling like you have to do more to get the results you're looking for is only going to be that concept of you crashing up against a wall, or, whatever, banging your head on a glass door, trying to break it down, trying to get the results you're looking for. And your body's like, you know what? What you're doing may have worked for a short amount of time, and then you plateaued. And then it's like, enough is enough. Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going there with you right now. Like your body having a conversation with you, right? I'm not going with you right there right now, girl. I ain't going there with you right now, boy. All of that. Like, I mean, really, it becomes fun and exciting when you do develop this relationship with your body and having these like side conversations with it, because the amount of information that you then can dispel through is incredible. You can hear somebody giving you amazing tips and tricks of how to do these things, and then you can go, okay, self, okay, infinite wisdom within, what of all of that works for me? Is there anything here that we should work through? Is there anything that we should incorporate? And when you're learning, remember, in the last episode, if you haven't caught up on that, there's this or that. So it's about establishing one or the other. As you develop, then you can start giving the list of things like, okay, should we do this exercise, that, this, or that, multiple different things. But for now, like, we'll just start for the one thing versus one thing. So, but it's amazing to get back to that train of thought. When you hear somebody say something or you read something in a book, you can then filter it through your own lens of what your body is actually seeking. Because me trying to do a PR of 500 pounds, like, is unrealistic for my body. Like, my body is like, no, on all levels, not because, it doesn't want to lift that much weight, but because physically, like, that's just not what my body is looking for or what my body is seeking. Like, my workout plan, and I talked about my weight loss journey that transpired over the course of multiple years, but the weight loss journey in really tuning into what my body wanted versus resisting and dieting and doing all of these things, I got the results I was looking for when I tuned into what my body wanted. My body finally said, okay, Brooke, I'll give you what you want because you're giving me what I want. And so part of that, for me, is I go on a walk every other day. Every other day we go for a walk, me and my body. We go for a walk. And, there's hills and there's down valleys and it's a different, or all different types of terrain. And every other day when I'm doing these walks, I'll do it one direction and then I'll reverse that direction the next time I do that walk, just to kind of change it up a little bit. And the off days, I do about 15 to 20 minute at home, like either body weight exercises or resistant bands or some sort of, free weight exercises to help build muscle and things. And that was what my body was okay with in that moment. Now it's going to shift and change as we continue and as I develop and I grow in all of these areas. But this is what it wanted right now. And guess what? When I started doing that, instead of doing all this insane, crazy, 10, 15,000 hour workouts, I get it, guys. I get it. That's unrealistic, but you know what I mean? All these hours in the gym and all that and meal prepping and it was so crazy that I stopped living my life, and I was living my life in a like very rigidly. I wasn't living my life in flow. I was living my life so rigidly, like, no, sorry, I can't go to dinner. Sorry, I can't do this. Sorry, because I have this, and this, and no changes were happening. So then what does that create? That creates a lot of frustration and upset and, and people getting like, well, what's the point? What's the point? I'm not even going to do all of this because nothing's happening. So really understanding the whole less is more approach is such a better way of looking at things. But to distill that myth of more is better, tune into that wisdom that's inside of you. Listen to what the gurus have to say about things, because really less is more. Okay. Myth number 2, eat fruit when you're feeling sick. What? Hold up, Dr. Brooke, hold up. Wait, what? What are you saying? Okay. Now, granted, I get it. I know there's probably not been any like guru or health professional that has like flat out said like, yo, you're feeling sick, you need to eat fruit. But this notion and this idea that people kind of get in their minds that, I don't feel well, so therefore I'm going to eat some oranges or, all these different high in vitamin C fruits that people are like so accustomed to thinking, oh my God, I don't feel well, either emergency packets or, an orange or banana, like whatever it is. They get these ideas because it's like, oh, okay, well, those are healthy, right? Oranges are healthy, bananas are healthy. I'm putting healthy things in my body, and rightfully so. But I don't know that I agree in that moment in time when your immune system is revving up. Go back to episode 2. I talk about this whole achoo sneezing aspect. Sneezing is a sign that the body is actually starting to stage an attack against something. Sure, you have allergies and dust mites and all of that. Yeah, I get that. But there is a time and a place when you're starting to sneeze out of nowhere. Trust me on this. Eliminating all fruit sugars, all fruit, because it has sugar, because the concept is eliminating sugar from the diet, and drinking more water and getting adequate sleep. That's going to help mend your body in a way quicker way and keep you on an even keel where you're like, oh, that was a little blimp. I didn't go down at all. I didn't express symptoms. My body fought it off really well because I supported my system in that process. So the myth that you need to eat more vitamin C fruit is a fallacy. So stop doing that. The third myth, the third and final myth for this episode is fat metabolism. Now, what the heck is fat metabolism? People think when they're feeling overweight or, feeling like they're not moving fat through their body appropriately, that like that's what fat metabolism is. And I guess the third myth should truly be called, oh gosh, don't shoot me for this, but keto misconceptions. I do not, and I'm putting this on record right now, do not have any issue with the keto diet. The issue that I have with everything health related is a religiosity-ness about it, to where people get so caught up in one way or the other. Like, to be highly spiritual, you must be vegan. To do this, you must be vegetarian. Oh, to lose weight and be healthy, you need to be keto. I understand the merit of keto because it takes sugar out of the diet, which sugar is such a huge issue for a lot of people. Probably 99 point whatever percentage of us. Even thin people have sugar issues. It's not just heavy people. But fat metabolism, with the third myth, is, this notion that you can just continue to eat all this fat and not have any issues. But that's not true, because so many people coming into practice, so many patients that I'm working with, even remotely, are expressing symptoms of fat metabolism. And again, are you truly tuning into your body when you're doing certain things? Or are you doing them on the backs of what you heard someone else saying, hoping to get the same results that they're talking about, knowing well and, that you are not that person? You are not that person. Again, are we comparing elephants and giraffes? When we go to the zoo, we don't expect the giraffe to look like the elephant or the elephant to look like the giraffe. They're two different things. They're two different beings. So the results that somebody got in one sense and the results that you're getting in another may not be the same. And so while you can gather information that's being put out there, I do not want you to feel like you have to subscribe or, put all these eggs in a basket and say, well, this is what, Dr. Brooks said this or so-and-so said this. Actually, you'll never hear Dr. Brooks say anything this is die hard the philosophy. Because if you know my philosophy around health is there is no one size fits all. Nothing about health is one size fits all. But anyways, if you hear a guru talking and saying something, you're able to filter that through your own understanding, through your own relationship that you're developing with your body and learning how to have that conversation, learning how to foster a relationship with yourself so your body will tell you what it needs to process, to work, to, do its job. So when someone says go keto and you go keto and now you're experiencing these symptoms of just being full or like stuck, right? Like things aren't moving through your body, or you do have bowel movements and the bowel movements are just like floating, or you see a ring of like fat around the toilet bowl. Those are, signs that you're experiencing issues with fat metabolism. If you do see those, if you are experiencing that, my suggestion is to get off of all fat for at least 3 days. That's good fat, that's bad fat, like all of it, 3 days. And your valves, the valves in your large intestine, you have one on the left, one on the right, those are probably stuck closed. So those would need to, you'd need to get help getting those open, which I can help guide you through actually. So if that is the case, if you are feeling symptoms like that, reach out. Again, I can definitely assist you in that process. And this is something that I can assist you with remotely as well. So just to summarize, 3 myths in health, in the health field or the health realm that you will hear about is this more is better approach, which we debunked, and the eating fruit when you're sick myth, which we also debunked, and the fat metabolism or keto is the way, the golden road to all ultimate health, that has actually been debunked. I debunked these, guys. I just want to make it very clear. There's nothing, I'm not reading scientific papers and saying, oh, see, this paper debunked this. There are papers like that, by the way. There's papers to debunk everything. So you just have to intuitively feel into what is right for you in those moments and be okay with the decision that you're making, because it is a decision you're making for your body, for your subconscious being, for that wisdom inside of you. You're giving your body all of the necessary tools to do its job so it doesn't have to, start screaming at you in all these other ways. So don't create, huge intestinal disorders because of, like some religious philosophy. And by religious philosophy, I mean like the philosophy of health that people can like die by the sword on, because it's not about, I'm doing intermittent fasting and I have to eat for no longer than, or eat only 4 hours a day. If it works for you and you're experiencing health benefits and the livelihood of your life is better as a result, then do it. By all means, do it. But if this is something that is causing problems in your life and you're starting to see ill effects of it, change course. Be willing to change course and maybe adapt and make something work for you, because intermittent fasting can work, but maybe fasting for 20 hours in that day is not beneficial for you. Maybe only fasting 16 hours or 12 is right for you. You have to establish that understanding of yourself in order to, like go through all of the garbage or go through all of the wisdom, could be garbage, could be wisdom out there in the world. So hear me out when I tell you that you are the only one with the ability to really, truly get to the bottom and the core of everything that your body truly needs. I can help you. I can be that guide on the journey to get you to a certain point. But at some point, you're at home with yourself every single day. You're with yourself every moment, every second, all of it. I'm not there. At that point, then I can help guide you to a degree. Then you take it further by having the this or that conversations, or you start with the this or that conversations, and maybe you're stuck at a roadblock and I can come in and help and assist. And then you move forward the rest of the way through. See, that's the beauty of really having a relationship with the incredible, amazing, the most epic creation to ever exist, which is the human body. So trust yourself, trust that internal guidance that you have within me. If you need help, or within you, not within me, but it is within me too. If you need help working through any of this or have health challenges and you're struggling, reach out. All of my contact information can be found down below, show notes, or down below on the YouTube video. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Have a great rest of your day. And Dr. Brooke is signing out. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Body Talks podcast with me, Dr. Brooke Sheehan, where you're learning to pay close attention to the whispers your body is speaking so you can live a life fully expressed physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally without spending time and money on healthy items that aren't right for you. You're uniquely made, and your healthcare needs should reflect that. To learn more or how you can work with me, visit drbrooksheehan.com, that's Brooke without an E, and discover your answers today.